Hey, beautiful souls. Welcome to day 7 of the Soul Led Reset. I hope you are well. I hope that you have been enjoying our 7 days together. So, day 7 is all about commit. Now, commit is about choosing yourself, your path, and a daily practice of connection to yourself. So, if you've been here for all 7 days, or if you're joining the pathway anywhere throughout these 7 days, I want you to know that there is no right way to have done this journey. Everything that we do is very personal. I'm just here to give you guidance, ideas, right? Nothing has to be set in stone, and that's really, really important. So, as long as you have been showing up for yourself and doing what you feel drawn to do, then that's going to bring more alignment to you. So, over the last week, we've remembered who we truly are. We've released what no longer fits. We've reclaimed parts of ourselves that we've either locked away or lost through trauma. We have realigned ourselves with our soul's direction and connected to our soul's essence. We've activated our energy and we have integrated everything gently into your body and into your life as well. So today isn't about doing more. I know when we talk about commitment, we think it's a bit like, setting a New Year's resolution, right? We make this massive commitment to do whatever it is, right? We're not talking about making that kind of commitment where you feel pressured, where you feel um perhaps even out of alignment, right? What we're talking about is um commitment that doesn't need overwhelm, it doesn't need perfection, it doesn't need discipline, even. This is about choosing yourself. What we're committing to is ourselves. We're not necessarily, committing to um, letting go of everything that isn't in alignment with us or changing our job or moving house and all of those things. What we're doing today is committing to ourselves, right? It's not about pushing ourselves harder to meet goals and targets and all of those things. It's not sticking to something perfectly, right? We want to be able to be in flow. That feminine empowered energy is all about flow. So if we're rigidly sticking to something, then the chances are we're in our wounded masculine instead of our feminine energy of flow and creation. We're also not making massive promises to ourselves where we can let ourselves down because we've created such a rigid path or a rigid goal, and it's a goal that cannot be sustained, right? So we're not promising to a future version of ourselves, um, or anything that you have to live up to that's going to cause overwhelm, anxiety, perfectionism, and ways that you are going to self-sabotage yourself. Okay. So, what we're really talking about today is connecting to yourself, committing to yourself, right? So, that might look like where am I willing to meet myself regularly? Or I am willing to listen to myself, or I am willing to listen to my soul, my guides, my intuition, right? Or I am willing to stay in connection even when I don't have answers. So commitment isn't about certainty, it's about presence, okay? About being present with yourself, right? So that you are your main priority, right? And I know as spiritual people, we tend to want to give to everybody else and we forget to look after ourselves. But if we don't put ourselves, our energy, our vibration, our frequency first, then we run out of energy to be able to give, right? So by bringing our focus back to ourselves, we fill our own cups and then we can help everybody else. So that's also important to remember. Okay. So today we are going to anchor presence into something simple, tangible, and supportive. Okay. So I'm going to take you through a little guided activation. So when you're ready, just take a moment to close your eyes. Just take a nice deep breath. We just want to be present, okay? We're not going anywhere today. We're just being present. And just bring your awareness to your breath. Just breathe in slowly through your nose and out through your mouth. Again, breathing in and breathing out. Just one last time, breathing in and breathing out. And bringing your awareness to your heart center. Just notice how your heart feels today. We've been through a lot this week. We don't want to change anything. We just want to notice how our heart center is feeling. Now just gently ask yourself, what kind of commitment actually feels supportive for me right now? And we don't want any what you should do or what you've been told you should do or anything that you've tried before that hasn't stuck. We just want to feel what feels honest and doable. So you might notice that you have a desire for quiet time and space, or a desire for structure, or a desire for ritual, or simply a desire to check in with yourself more often. So just let the answers land. So commitment doesn't need to be big, it needs to be meaningful. So quite often it's the small practices that create the deepest and the biggest changes within you. So this is where I want to bring in the Akashic Alchemy Oracle deck. So these cards are not here to tell you what to do. They're not here to predict or fix anything. They're just here to support relationship, right? Your relationship with yourself. Okay, using the cards can help you to pause, to listen, and to stay in conversation with your soul. And even like just putting one card a day can be really powerful in self-commitment, self-love, self-care. Right? It says, I'm willing to listen to myself. It says, I'm willing to be guided from within. So bring your awareness back to your heart and silently or aloud hold this question. What supports my commitment to myself now? Let's see what the cards want to say today. Okay, so we have 3 cards today. Okay, so we have success anchors, trust and faith, and money alchemy. So just see how those cards feel in your body. I tell you obviously what they mean and how they connect with what we have been doing this week. So just notice any resistance, any emotion that might come up, or any recognition. These cards aren't asking you to do something new. They're showing you how commitment wants to feel. Okay, so let it be a companion. So the first card is success anchors. Now, success anchors are what stabilizes our success. They are the foundation for what it is that we want to do, have, be, experience, create. So success anchors are really important, right? But at the same time, this card is saying your success doesn't come from effort alone. It comes from anchoring your energy into practices that keep you steady, that keep you grounded, that keep you connected to yourself. So this card is really inviting you to place success anchors that are in alignment with you. Okay, so that could be um, lots of different things. So what we don't want to do is put pressure on ourselves here. We don't want to, create hundreds of different success anchors that are just not doable. So this card is really asking you to set yourself some solid foundations that are going to help enhance your daily life, not make it more difficult, right? Make it full of pressure, and making it, that you have to do something that isn't in alignment, that takes away your energy from doing something that perhaps isn't in alignment with you. So this is all about anchoring practices in a really grounded way that supports your growth, that supports your day-to-day life, right? And the really exciting thing about this is we can actually set success anchors in the Akashic records, right? So we can go into the Akashic records and set that right, what it is that we want to achieve in our records. And right, once it's written in our records, it has to come to fruition, right? So that's something exciting that you can do in the Akashic records as well, which is very much linked to this card. So just remember that, success anchors aren't something ginormous. They are something that is small. Small steps create massive change, right? So this is really asking you to anchor some regular practices into your day-to-day life that will create success over time. So one of those anchors could be using cards every day, right? Or meditating every day, or journaling every day. Okay. So it's not something that you have to do perfectly. It's something that you return to because it fills you up, right? It ignites your soul. It makes you happy to do that thing, right? Like whether it's pulling cards or journaling or having quiet time or going for a walk, these are all small things that can have massive change and massive impact on your day-to-day life. So trust and faith. Okay, this is where we really bring in emotion into that commitment, right? The success anchors are the things that we need to do. This is how we need to be, right? This is the emotional card that goes with that. So, of course, it's very much about trust, right? It's about trusting yourself, trusting your intuition, trusting the journey that you're on, trusting the universe, trusting your guides, right? So trust is really, really important. And a part of this journey is about, trusting, even when you don't see the whole path in front of you, or trusting that you don't need all the answers to take the next step, or you don't have to have clarity to take that next step. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to do or get everything right every day, right? This isn't about perfectionism. It isn't about, um, trusting others implicitly. This is about trusting yourself, trusting your journey, trusting your knowledge, your wisdom, your intuition, right? Um, and it's very much about your relationship with yourself. So, like I said, trusting yourself, your guidance, your intuition, um, and just trusting that, doing these small things, right? These success anchors that you've put into place is going to help to create change in your day-to-day life, in your emotions, in the way you show up in the world, right? And that's really, really important. Now, money alchemy. Okay, so these are the three amazing cards to have come out, right? Money alchemy isn't just about alchemy. Alchemy is about transformation, right? It's about change. So money alchemy is really talking about our value, our worth, and exchange, right? So giving and receiving, right? Um in a really powerful way, right? That is 50-50, right? If we're giving all the time, but we're not open to receiving, then we're not valuing ourselves. Maybe we need to look at our worthiness, or we don't have enough boundaries in place, which came up the other day, to retain our own energy and our own vibration, right? Because we're giving, and allowing people to use and abuse us, for want of a better word, I suppose. So what money alchemy is saying with these cards is that if you commit to yourself, right, the things that you want on a daily basis, then your relationship with money is going to change, because you're putting these success anchors in place, which means you are committing to yourself, right? You are trusting the journey that you're on. And by doing that, we are raising our worth, right? If we're committing to something, then we are valuing ourselves. We are then, raising our self-worth. We feel that we are more worthy of receiving things, right? And we put more value on our own energy and, our desires and all of those things. So when we commit to these things, when we honor our gifts, our time, our energy, then abundance has to respond, right? So, wrong card. Abundance has to respond. Okay, so the more value we place on ourselves, our energy, and our gifts, and how we share all of those with the world. We went in and did, we went and met our soul essence, which is very much about, how our soul wants to be expressed. And that's going to include your gifts, your time, your energy, and all of those things. So this is going to bring forwards a change, a transformation, alchemy, in how money shows up for you, right? The more in alignment you are with your wants, needs, desires, and what you're being guided, what your soul is guiding you to do, the easier it's going to be for money to come forwards, right? And like I say, we're not just talking about money, we're talking about abundance, prosperity, all of those things. So this card isn't about force, this is about magic, it's about alignment, right? When we're in alignment, things become a whole lot easier. So when we commit to ourselves, right, through placing these and trusting, we stop leaking energy, right? And that literally changes everything, including money, okay? So these three cards really tie back nicely to the cards that we have pulled, which was boundaries a couple of days ago. And we also looked at soul gifts, and we've looked at embodiment and integration as well. So these three cards I don't think we could have got three better cards that really align with everything that we're doing. So let's just go over these very quickly. So success anchors is how you stay connected. Trust and faith is the energy you bring into that connection by trusting. And money alchemy is what naturally begins to shift as a result of doing these two things, right? So when you anchor yourself in simple practices, when you trust yourself enough to stay present and commit to yourself, and you honor your value, your life begins to reorganize, right? It shifts around you, and that's commitment. Okay. So three beautiful cards to come out today. So a couple of journaling prompts. So what feels like a success anchor that you can realistically commit to? Okay, so that might be going for a walk after lunch every day. That might be putting yourself a card to connect with your soul every day. It might be journaling. Okay. And where am I being asked to trust myself more? Okay, so a couple of nice energies for you, a couple of nice journaling prompts for you. Okay, now a gentle reminder that commitment doesn't change everything overnight. Okay, what it means is that you stop walking away from yourself, you stop abandoning yourself, and you start bringing yourself into your main focus, right? That's really, really important. So what we've opened over the last 7 days is going to continue to unfold, right? And it's going to help to anchor, support, and guide you moving forwards. Okay. Okay, so let's talk about how you can use the cards in a daily practice. Okay, it doesn't need to be long. It can be 2 to 5 minutes. If you can spend 15 minutes, great, but it can be as little as 2 to 5 minutes. So you'd ask a great question like, what does my soul want me to know today? What wants my attention today? What wants to be embodied today? How can I honor myself today? And pull yourself a card. And just sit with that card for 2 to 5 minutes. Okay, really looking into the card to see what you notice. What draws your attentions? What emotions does it spark within you? And then just journal a couple of lines, right? And this is how working with the cards becomes a practice, right? We can all find 5 minutes in our day to be able to honor ourselves, to be able to commit to ourselves. Okay. You can journal every day as well. So just asking yourself questions like, what does commitment to myself actually look like? What kind of practices feel nourishing rather than demanding? What am I choosing to honor in order to move forwards, right? So lots of different things that you can do to continue this amazing path that you have opened over the last 7 days. So as we close this 7 day journey, I want you to really hear this clearly. This is not the end, it is just the beginning of a deeper relationship with yourself, right? You don't need to redo all 7 days again, but as and when you feel drawn, come back to whichever day you feel drawn to do, right? You don't need to keep everything perfect. Okay. Um, what this is really asking you is to be present and to be willing to listen. success isn't commitment isn't something that you can either succeed or fail at. It's something that you return to. Okay, so if you want to bring your awareness back to your body and just feel the surface beneath you. Gently wiggle your fingers and your toes. Take a grounding breath in, just arriving right here, right now. Just breathing out. Taking a moment to become fully present. Okay, and before we close, I'd like to share something very gently with you. Okay, so over these last 7 days, you've experienced how powerful it is to have a regular point of connection with yourself, to bring yourself fully into the present moment. So the cards that we have pulled today, success anchors, trust, faith, and money alchemy, really speak to having something tangible that supports you in staying connected, grounded, present, and in conversation with your soul. So if you feel drawn to continue your journey with the Akashic Soul Alchemy Oracle deck, it's designed to be a companion, not a rule book. Okay, it's designed to take you on a whole journey to help you to understand, to help you to heal, to help you to remember who you really are. And even just pulling one card a day can become a simple act of devotion to yourself, commitment to yourself. So I will drop the link to the deck in the comments. This is so much more than just a deck of cards. It comes with a portal of different things to help you to work with the deck. It also comes with its own app as well, and with a journal. So this is a whole, almost like healing modality. It's a whole journey. It's a whole system designed as a deck of cards to really help you to step back into your sovereignty, to step back into your power, and to remember the magic of who you really are. So thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for showing up for yourself. Thank you for listening. It's been an amazing 7 days. I've really enjoyed being here with you. Trust that whatever you choose next will unfold from this place of connection, and you are exactly where you need to be. So please do comment, like, share, do all the things so that this 7 days can reach the people that it needs to reach. I've really enjoyed being here with you over these last 7 days, and I look forward